I'm out here getting ready to set traps. I just came through the gate and I see some tracks in the mud here. And I see this track is a little smudgy, but that looks like, I'd say probably a gray fox track. You can see, I mean, it's not very big. It's kind of oblong shape, which is kind of indicative of a canine, but definitely small for a coyote. And then we come right here, and here we got a nice cat track. You can see how it's much more circular than the canine tracks. It's pretty small itself, but definitely much more circular. So we're right here at the gate. I don't really want to sit. Let's see. There's I'm gonna say that's another cat track. That's a good sized cat track right there. Man, this is good sign. You know, 15 yards off the road. Naturally, there's be a nice old possum track there, but man, this is really good sign. I don't want to sit right here this close to the gate, but I'm pretty pumped up about this place. Tracks. This is a good sign to see too. That's rabbit tracks. And we got, you know, all that's prime rabbit habitat, mouse, rat. That's good hunting for the predators that we're looking for. So much better than an old chewed up, mowed down cow field. So I think we're going to do good out here. I'm getting ready to set up here on this corner. It's a T. Got this nice big food plot, kind of a fallow field back there. Couple, you know, 2-year-old planted pines and these big pines over here. So it's a road intersection. Man, I found bobcat tracks going every way. So I'm gonna get a little flashier, and I'm gonna put a bigger hole. I'm gonna put some feathers on it and just really try to jump out and make sure that that I can get a bobcat's attention. The one thing I'm looking at though is, and it may be tough to tell, but like this area right in here, I can tell it's lower. It looks like it holds water, so I don't want to sit there. I've got a little bit of a hill right there, and I've got a little bit of a hill over here. So I want to make sure that I don't sit where water is going to hold, because, you know, if it rains, which we're going to get sometime sooner or later, then I don't want, you know, my trap to be flooded. So that's one of the things I'm looking at when I'm getting ready to set up. Now I picked this little briar clump here, not because it really jumps out at me or screams out at me. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't mind being backed up against that bigger brush line, but I want to be out a little bit closer to the road. So that's going to put me 3 feet closer. I'm going to put a couple, probably a double dirt hole set in, and make sure something comes by here, he's gonna check this out, and I'll show you how I set it up. So I've got this, not a huge backing, but it's briary, right? This is a little blackberry bush, so hopefully that's gonna work to my advantage. And now targeting bobcats definitely tend to be more visual than coyotes and canines in general. And if you look at it, the size of their nose to the size of their eyes and just their face structure, you know, a coyote definitely has a lot larger nose than a bobcat. A bobcat's got bigger eyes and a shorter nose, which tells me the bobcat's gonna be more visual and the coyote's gonna be more scent oriented. Now, I kind of deal in some red clay and some hard ground. So what I'll try to do, I've got me a nice 2.5 inch dirt hole here, but it's a struggle to get it very deep. So what I'll do is I'll make it big enough where it's gonna catch some attention. Well, then I'll make a punch hole in the bottom of it, because this may be 5 inches deep now, but I'll make a punch hole in the bottom of it to get my bait down there where my bait is not as easy to access. I'm gonna put another hole here. There's nothing really blocking a backing from this side, so to speak. I do have another little small bush, but hopefully this other hole here will be enough to make them work it from the right side. And I can feel now, I can feel the wind kind of blowing across in my face as I'm setting, which is good. It's blowing my scent off the set, but it's also, when I get my scent here, it's going to be blowing it out across this field, across the road. So anything that smells it, naturally, hopefully it should come from downwind, and from downwind is going to bring it right across my trap. So I've got my 2 holes here. I'm going to set my trap dead center of those. So I'm going to dig my trap bed out. This is actually, we just had some rain the other day, so that's going to have some impact, but this is not bad dirt at all to be working with. Definitely have some harder dirt here. And I'm gonna kind of, a lot of times I'll set my trap a little bit closer to the holes than this, but I'm just gonna make it kind of tie it in just a little bit, just to tie it in a little bit. So now I got my MB 550. I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready, not click the night latch yet, but I'm testing my hole size, so I need a little bit more. And typically I kind of like a little bit of a step down. And my dog is going to kind of be dead center of the 2 holes. So that's good. Actually, I'm going to drive my stake in first. Got a cable stake. I'm trying out these heavy duty Berkshires to see how they do. Okay. Take just a little bit of polyfill to put under the outside edge of the pan. Click. It just clicked. It wasn't very audible, but it's ready. And then press that trap down into place. And I'm pressing on it pretty hard, and I'm pressing on the 4 corners of the jaw on the levers. I don't want that trap to budge. That baby's good. So now I'm gonna take some dirt, start sifting over it. Got to start. I'm going to clear it out over the pan. So I know where the pan is. The pan's the lowest spot. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to kind of press around the jaws just to make sure that everything's packed and that trap is solid. Then I'm going to finish out my covering again, trying to keep my pan the lowest spot. Now I'm going to take a little clump of dirt and I'm going to put it kind of a little finger here, kind of making this almost a walkthrough. And I'm going to take a couple of dirt clods, not rocks, but dirt clods, and put them right over where the levers are, just to try to guide that foot right where I want it to go. Then I'm going to take this dirt and I'm just going to kind of shoot it out into the road, so hopefully that'll be a little more extra attractant too. And we're ready to go get the next one in. I'm gonna put some bait. I'll put bait down both holes. Probably some feathers and a little lure probably right here in the middle. And we'll see what we catch. We'll catch something here. All right, so here's where I told you I got my dirt holes. I'm gonna take this, just wallow out a hole at the bottom of both of them. Put a little Powder River down one. I've had this Powder River for probably 5 years. I'm trying to use it up. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's still producing. Put a good glob of it down that hole. Use a little Mark June's Widowmaker down the other. Haven't used this much lately. But put it down the hole. I'm trying to push it down in that hole so it's not tempted to come out. I'm gonna take some feathers, put them a little bit in each hole to try to block whatever scent's down there, and then maybe throw a little bit on top just for good measure, for good eye appeal. Like I say, there's cat sign around here, and I'm gonna pull him in. And then take a little bit of this Rusty Johnson's Country Boy lure. I'm gonna put it right smack dab in the middle. No hole, just kind of tuck it down under where the smell's there. We're ready to go, y'all. Let's see what we got here tomorrow. I had a question the other day asking how do I use a dog proof trap as a drowner. So I'm going to show you how I do, and it's real simple and easy. First off is you need the good thing about dog proof traps is it's going to catch by the front foot. So that means you don't need as deep of water to drown the raccoon, which is a plus. So I'm just using some trapper's tie wire here, and I mean this is good and deep where I'm at. You can see that's probably pushing 2 feet, and I'm not 2 feet off the bank, so this is perfect. I'm going to take this T-bar and I'm going to get it started, see if I can do this without getting my hand wet, and I'll push it with my foot all the way down till there's just enough room where I can hook it with my foot and pull it back out. I figured that out after ramming it all the way down there and then realizing that wasn't the best option. All right, so then I'm going to take my wire and pull it off till I know I've got plenty to anchor it off on the top side. Cut it off. Shit, I spooled out so much. And then all I'll do is, you know, all traps have these, you see, most traps have these swivels, these box swivels. Well, they can act as a drowning mechanism just because of the way they're made. So if you thread your wire, cable, what have you, so from the inside out, so you can see here's where the chain's attached, and this is the hole in the swivel. So this is the same way that you would feed a J-hook into it. And you can see that trap slides perfectly down, but it don't, if you pull up against it, it's going to catch and lock. And that's all there is to it. And I'm going to take the top side of this wire and I'm going to wrap it real nice around this piece of rebar, and I'm going to pull this line as tight as I can and push it down. And it's not super tight. I'd like it to be, and I realize you can't see them. It's not super tight, there's a little bit of slack in it, but that's still going to be enough to allow that coon, as he moves, it's just going to keep ratcheting down farther and farther, and he's not going to be able to pull up on it. Got one of my FB1s here, squeeze it and click. I'm hoping these things perform really well, because man, that is so incredibly easy. And then I'm just going to stick it in the bank. That end goes in good. I got my fish food here, my floating fish food. I mix a little bit of fish oil in it. I've tried that, not too much, but just a little bit, and then I'll take, just to make sure, because I got some coons and such crossing this road right here, so I'm going to take it and just give it a good squirt of fish oil, kind of up and down, so that any coon that comes by, his attention should be drawn right here, and hopefully he's down there in the morning. Y'all, this place is awesome. We're gonna catch so much game. I'm having a tough time. I want to get my predator sets out and let them start soaking, but there's so much coon sign that I really want to try to hammer some coons before I get too deep. And then, man, look at it. I just come over the hill here to check out this, and there is a smoking hot otter toilet. Like I just missed them otter toilet. 'Cause I mean, we just had rain, and I mean, golly, that's incredible. It's all scratched up. Golly, this place is gonna be good. Y'all see that scat? I mean, scratched up. He spent some time here. You can see right where he came up the bank. And I'm thinking that is gonna be a killer crossing log, and I don't have any heartburn putting a conibear on there and trying to bust some coons as they cross. So looking here, we might could catch more than coons crossing there, because right there's a cat track. See if I can get down here on that. We got some coons undoubtedly are crossing the water too, but there's some other tracks. I think these may be squirrels, but my mink trapper Brady Martz, maybe you can help me out and let me know. I think that's probably a squirrel, but this creek is definitely bigger. Looks pretty minky to me. I don't have any real grasp of what that means, but I'm still after the mink. So I'm gonna try to get some more traps out before dark here, and I'm pumped up about this place. You see what I mean by all the coons around here and cleaning up the coons? And it just rained Saturday and Sunday. But we do have some good stuff here too. Old Coyote's been running through here. And old cat. That's a really good picture. You can see, for one, the size difference. I mean, you can see how circular this cat track is and how oblong the coyote track is. One thing you can also note, there's no claw marks. They're all claw marks. There's not always going to be claw marks on coyote tracks, but rarely will there ever be claw marks on cat tracks. So one tip that I heard from I think it was Backcountry Sassin on Instagram that was pretty helpful is if you can draw an X between the toes and the pad, and it's a coyote track, and if you can't draw an X, then it's a cat track. But that's a pretty clear, to me anyway. I'd like to move all that grass and whatnot, but there's some good sign here. There is some good sign here.